Hello dear students, I hope you all are safe at your homes. So now we are going to start the chapter 4, that is heat, and in this chapter we'll learn various aspects of heat. And let us start reading the chapter. In chapter 3 you learned that woolen clothes are made from animal fibers, and we also know that the cotton clothes are made from the plant fibers. So this is a very common thing, that the woolen clothes we get from the animal fibers, like sheep give us wool, camel give us wool, and different goats, they also give us wool. So woolen clothes generally we get from the animal fibers, and cotton clothes we get from the plant fibers. And woolen clothes, when do we wear woolen clothes? We generally want to wear the woolen clothes in winters. Why? Because the woolen clothes will keep us warm. But in summers, we do not want to wear woolen clothes. We always prefer to wear light colored clothes and generally cotton clothes. Why? Because these clothes will give us the feeling of coolness, right? And summer, nowadays also, this is the time of the summers, we always try to wear the light colored clothes and generally we wear the cotton clothes. So why do we wear different type of clothes in the different seasons? And you see, in winters also, this is also one of the observations you might have observed. In winters, we generally feel very cold when we are inside the home, and we feel warm when we go outside in the sun. And in summers, we feel little bit cool inside the house, but when we go in the summer, it is too hot. So same sun, same place which was warm in winters, we want to go in the warm during winters, but the same feeling we are not having when it is the season of the summers. We do not prefer to go in the sun in summers. So what is that? What is the feeling? Why do we feel hotness or coldness? And how do we find that something is very hot or something is cold? So some of these questions we'll study in this chapter. So let us see the concept of hot and cold. So hot and cold concept you are having on this table. So you can see here this table. You can do this activity in your notebook also. Now you see, you have to just write your observations here in this table. Ice cream is cold. We know that whenever we eat ice cream, it appears very cold to our tongue. Spoon in a teacup. Suppose you have put some spoon in the teacup, and when you are going to touch the spoon, it will become warm or hot. It will not remain. If the tea in the cup is hot, the spoon which is placed inside the teacup will also become hot. Next is fruit juice. Fruit juice, whenever we drink the fruit juice, it is also cold. Handle of a frying pan. Handle of a frying pan. You know, the question is, if the handle of the frying pan is made up of bakelite, that black colored bakelite is there, then it does not appear to be very hot, but it would be warmer when we are touching it, right? And next is, so these are some of the observations given here. Now something very important is written here in this pink box. Do not touch objects which are too hot. Be very careful while handling a candle, flame or stove. Generally these objects, when you are touching the candle, you are touching the flame, or you are touching the stove or gas burners, they are very, very hot. So we are not supposed to touch them directly. You see, when we see that some of the objects are cold while some of them are very hot, and if the same object, suppose the same object, if I'm talking about sometimes the cold objects, you see, cold objects we want to have during the summer seasons, but we avoid taking cold objects during winter seasons. How do we get the feeling whether the object is hot or cold? We generally touch the object. Just by touching it, we'll come to know whether the object is hot or cold. Now here is one activity. You can do it at your home, but under the guidance of your parents only. What you can do here, you can take 3 tubs here. You can take 3 containers, any of the 3 containers you can take. In container 1, in container A, you can put some cold water taken from the fridge. In container B, you can take normal water. Here, in container B, hot water we are taking, and in container C, we will take the normal tap water. So again I am telling you, in container A, first container, any of the 3 containers you can take. In first container, you can take water from the fridge. In container B, you can take hot water. It should not be very hot. You can take warm water so that you can easily touch it. And in container C, you can take the tap water. Now what you have to do, you have to put your one hand in container A, in which the cold water is there, and your second hand in warm water, and after that you have to put both of your hands in container C, in which the normal water is present. Now what you will observe, now you see the hand which was in the cold water, for that hand this water will appear to be hot, and the hand which was in container B, that is which was in warm water, for that hand this normal water will appear to be cold. So the water is same here, but as per the initial conditions, this hand was already in very cold water. For that hand this water will appear to be warmer, and the hand which was there in warm water, for this hand this water, normal water, will appear to be colder. So this is just the observation, or this is just the comparison by which we will come to know whether the object is hot or cold. Now from here, how do we find out how hot an object really is? A reliable measure of the hotness of an object is its temperature. Temperature is measured by a device called thermometer. So why this question has arisen here? Suppose again coming back to this, I was telling that here normal water we have taken in this container, but for both of these two hands, the water, for one hand this water is warm, for the other hand this water is cold. So it means the same person who is putting both of his hands in 2 different temperatures water, the water will appear to be at different temperatures. So one hand will tell you that the water is warm, the other hand will tell you the water is cold. So how we can measure? So one person who has come from very cold environment, the water may be warmer, and the person who has come from the warm or hot environment, the same water would appear to be colder. So just by touching it, we cannot tell whether the body is hot or cold. So we need to have some measurement of the hotness or coldness of the object. So reliable measure of the hotness of the object is its temperature. And how we can measure the temperature? We measure the temperature with the thermometer. So you might have seen the thermometer in your homes. Thermometer you might have seen with the doctor also, the one who will measure your body temperature with the thermometer. And some thermometers we have in our labs also, that is the laboratory thermometers. So those thermometers are also used to find out the temperature of the different objects. And sometimes you might have seen the room thermometer also. That room thermometer tells the temperature of the room. Okay. Next topic is measuring temperature. Have you seen a thermometer? Recall that when you or someone else in your family had fever, the temperature was measured by a thermometer. The thermometer that measures our body temperature is called clinical thermometer. So, this clinical thermometer is basically used by the doctor. So, this is the thermometer. Generally, you might have seen this thermometer in your homes also. This thermometer is also known as clinical thermometer. This thermometer is used to measure your body temperature. Now you see, hold the thermometer in your hand and examine it carefully. If you do not have a thermometer, request a friend to share it with you. A clinical thermometer looks like the one shown in the diagram or figure. So you can see here, this is a clinical thermometer. You can see here one scale, and this scale will give you the reading of your body temperature. So this is the magnified view you can see here, and you can see here a dark line. This dark line is basically the mercury which is there inside the thermometer. So when you see, this is very sensitive part of the thermometer. When it is touched with some heated or hot object, then the mercury in the thermometer will expand. More is the heat of the body, more will be the expansion of this mercury. And you see, this mercury will move in the upward direction or in this direction, and you can find out. And when you see, when this bulb of the thermometer, this is called the bulb of the thermometer, when this bulb of the thermometer is having the same temperature of the body with which it is in touch, then the mercury will not further expand, and you can get the reading of the temperature of that object, right? So this is the way how we can use the clinical thermometer. Now you see, what are there the different parts of clinical thermometer. A clinical thermometer consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube. It has bulb at one end. So the portion which generally touches with the other object, this is the bulb of the thermometer. And this is a long, narrow, uniform glass tube of the thermometer. Now outside the bulb, a small shining thread of mercury can be seen. Bulb is here, and outside of this bulb we can see a thread of the mercury, shining mercury we can see here. If you do not see the mercury thread, rotate the thermometer a bit till you see. Sometimes you see this white colored glass is having a particular point where you can see the mercury. So if you are not able to see the mercury, you can rotate the thermometer till you can get this shiny or silvery surface which is having mercury basically. If you do not see the mercury thread, you can rotate it and you can find it out. You will also find a scale on the thermometer. The scale we use is the Celsius scale, and it is indicated by degrees Celsius. So as you see, length is measured in meters, centimeters, weight of an object is measured, mass of an object is measured in kilograms. Similarly, temperature is measured in Celsius scale. Some other scales are also there that we would discuss later. So, Celsius scale, and it is indicated by degree centigrade. So, something here written very important. Bujo wondered which of the two scales shown in figure 4.2 he should read. Paheli told him that India has adopted the Celsius scale and we should read that scale. The other scale with the range 94 to 100 degrees is the Fahrenheit scale. It was in use earlier. Now you can see here two scales are shown here. You can see one is above here 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and here 94, 95, 96 and 100 and so on. This scale, lower scale is the Fahrenheit scale and upper scale is the Celsius scale. But generally when you go to the doctor, if doctor says your body temperature is 100 degree, it means the doctor is talking about Fahrenheit scale. In Celsius scale, you can see clinical thermometer reads temperature from 35 degree to 42 degree centigrade or Celsius. So range of the clinical thermometer is from 35 degree centigrade to 42 degree centigrade or Celsius. Now reading a thermometer, how we can read the thermometer? Okay, let us learn how to read a thermometer. First, note the temperature difference indicated between the two bigger marks. Also note down the number of divisions shown by smaller marks. Between these marks, suppose the bigger marks read 1 degree and there are 5 divisions between them. Then one small division can read 0.2 degree centigrade. So same thing we can do here in this diagram. You can see here, first you have to check the bigger lines and these smaller lines. You can see this bigger line is 36 and this bigger line is 37. Exactly at the center of this bigger line is 0.5 or it is 36.5. And you can see, you can count the number of the divisions between 36 and 37. So you can see how many divisions are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 divisions are there between 36 and 37. So what we can see here, one division would be of 1 over 10 degree centigrade. That is 0.1 degree centigrade. Suppose the temperature is here. This mercury line is coming here. So the temperature would be read as 36.5 degree centigrade. If the red line is coming here at 7, so what would be the temperature? 36.7 degree centigrade. So similarly here you can see the 10 small divisions between the two bigger divisions. You may be having 5 small divisions between two bigger divisions. If there are 5 divisions, then obviously one division would be of 1 over 5 degree centigrade, that is 0.2 degree centigrade. So accordingly you have to read the thermometer. So how we can measure the temperature of any object? Wash the thermometer, preferably with an antiseptic solution, or you can wash it with the proper water, pure water. Hold it firmly and give it a few jerks. If you can see the diagram here, you are supposed to hold it like this, and before using it you have to give few jerks to the thermometer, so that the mercury level should fall to the initial level. The jerks will bring the level of the mercury down. Ensure that it falls below 35 degrees centigrade. Now place the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue. After 1 minute, take the thermometer out and note the readings. This is your body temperature. The temperature should always be stated with its unit, that is degrees Celsius. What did you record as your body temperature? So one very important thing we are going to read from here. The normal temperature of human body is 37 degrees centigrade. So what is our normal temperature of the body, human body? That is 37 degrees centigrade. Note that the temperature is stated with its unit, 37 degrees Celsius. Okay, if you are not writing Celsius, so we will not come to know whether it is Celsius or Fahrenheit. So we must speak the unit whenever we are talking of the body temperature or temperature of any object. So what is a normal temperature of the human body? This is 37 degrees centigrade. So when you will use a thermometer to measure the body temperature, you have seen what are the steps to use the thermometer. You have to hold the thermometer in your hand, give few jerks. First, before doing this, you have to clean the thermometer with the antiseptic solution or with pure water properly, and then you have to keep the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue, and after 1 minute take it out from under the tongue, and then you can see or you can read the thermometer and you can find out what is your body temperature. So generally if it is 37 degrees centigrade, then it means your body temperature is normal. But if it is greater than that, then it means you are having fever and your body temperature is not normal. It is greater than the normal value. So this is the activity, body temperature of some persons. You can use the thermometer in your home and you can find out the body temperature of the members of the family, and you can write down the values here. You will write down the name of the person whose body temperature you are measuring with the thermometer. If it is in your home, then you can find out the body temperature of the different persons or different members of your family. You will write down the name of the person or member, and here you will write down the reading of the thermometer, and 1 or 2 members or 3 members, whatsoever be the number of the members in your family, you can do this activity at your home. Next, I am reading from here. The temperature of every person may not be 37 degrees centigrade or Celsius. It could be slightly higher or slightly lower. Actually, what we call normal temperature is the average body temperature of a large number of healthy persons. The clinical thermometer is designed to measure the temperature of human body only. The temperature of human body normally does not go below 35 degrees Celsius and above 42 degrees Celsius. This is the reason that this thermometer has a range from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. So human body temperature cannot go below 35 degrees Celsius and it cannot go beyond 42 degrees Celsius. So that is why the clinical temperature is having only this range. So one Bujo's naughty idea we are going to read here. He wants to measure the temperature of hot milk using clinical thermometer. The Haley stopped him from doing so. Okay, this is one very important thing. Never use your clinical temperature for any clinical thermometer for measuring the temperature of any other object. So never use it for any other purpose. If you are having a clinical thermometer in your home, just use it to find out the temperature of your body only. Never put that thermometer in boiling hot water or hot milk, because that temperature is very much larger than the body temperature. Then mercury can go beyond 42 degrees centigrade. So caution, what is the caution here? Do not use clinical thermometer for measuring the temperature of any other object other than the human body. Also avoid keeping thermometer in the sun or near the flame. It may break. So it may be dangerous if you are keeping the thermometer near the flame or in the sun, or you are using your clinical thermometer to measure the temperature of boiling water or very hot milk. Never use your clinical thermometer for these purposes, because your thermometer may break in that case and the mercury may come out of your thermometer. So this may be dangerous. So never use your thermometer for any other purpose. So this is all for today, and we'll continue reading the chapter and we'll keep understanding this chapter next time.